We are live now.
Okay, brother. Okay. Good evening, Bhante and all Kalyanamita Sukihontu. I'm Āḷavaka and welcome to TRV Friday Dr. Ganggo Dawila Chandima. It's the day of it is the day 102 of the Sutta class. Tonight is the fifth class of Āḻavaka Sutta with topic final review of Āḻavaka Sutta. Āḷavaka Sutta is the ninth sutta from total of 5 that have been chosen under Chandima for this sutta discussion. In previous classes, Bhante has discussed about Mangalasaha Sutta, Metta Sutta, Sigalawada Sutta, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, Sabbasawa Sutta, Patakama Sutta, and Pattasamajivi Sutta, which Bhante has elaborated those sutta in. For those who have missed our previous classes, please check on Ti-Ratana Vihara Amar Pradana Clan's Facebook page channel. We have uploaded the P100 and wish to join the class via Zoom where we can engage directly with Bhante. Can contact us on Ti-Ratana Vihara Amar Pradana Clan's Facebook Messenger or even contact the Vihara directly through WhatsApp. Now, please allow me to introduce about our speaker. Bhante Dr. Ganggo is the Associate Editor of the Journal of International Buddhist Studies, JIBS, which is published by the Buddhist Research Chulalongkorn Raja Vidyalaya University in Thailand. He was previously fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society, or CSRS, at the University of Victoria. Bhante Dr. Chandima, also Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia. Bhante is currently the senior advisor to Patisotta, a virtual Dhamma organization that hosts a weekly online Pali reading class, Sutta discussions, Dhamma talks, and a variety of other Dhamma activities. His Dhamma works can be accessed at www.patisotta.blogspot.com, and we also can follow Bhante at Patisotta Facebook account. Without further ado, once again to studies.
Thank you, Aliana. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back.
Evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Good
I can
evening,
see some known faces. We have newcomers, I guess. So before I get to that point, let's pay respect to the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So today we have on this side Aliana, Kelvin, Jessica. I think you are new to our discussion. Hope you can catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you, Bhante.
Yes, but if you send 1 hour, you are not gonna be new anymore.
Okay. You
right.
already in Sri Lanka?
Yes,
now?
I am.
You left on Tuesday, right?
Tuesday, yes. You are right.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
All right.
And good to see you here. And then we have Kim, Margaret, Melinda, Yu On Lee, Liang Sui, TC Lim Nai Cheng, Kim Neil, Brother Wu, Samita, or YouTube, see, Annie Tan, Lim, Jacqueline, Cindy, Hema, there's one called A-N, I hope she's Anne, Sholin from Australia, Wick, Suresh. Welcome everyone. you are new to our discussion, I would like to welcome you. Okay. So today we are going to discuss, I would say, not discuss, probably a review about the whole Sutta, Āḷavaka Sutta. And today will be the last day of the Āḷavaka Sutta. And I will let you know the next Sutta, which we will be discussing at the end. Right? Maybe review means that I ask questions from you, isn't it? Or like, that will be the way, right? I ask questions from the students who have been studying, looking at me the whole 1 hour and a half for many, many weeks, right? I hope I'm not going to embarrass you. Okay, let's go back and see the Sutta and then see. We have 3 more stanzas to finish. They are not very important ones, but we'll go and see them. So Jessica, and I think Jessica is the only new one here. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah.
Say anybody else, Aliana, who is coming for the first time today? I think.
Bhante is me. Me. Sister Hui Chat. Sister.
Oh,
I'm
you
new
are-
today.
Okay, so you are new too. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm driving, so I switch off my camera.
Yeah, it's okay. So it's good to self-recognize, identify yourself.
Also, Bhante, Cindy Yo, she's new today.
Cindy, yeah, Cindy is okay. Cindy, you.
Cindy.
Okay,
Yeah.
good to see you. And she's in another class, I think, on Tuesdays, but she's new to this class. But anyways, welcome everyone. So for those new ones, what I'm gonna tell you is that you can, if you wanna go back, you can go back to the Āḷavaka Suttas. I think we did only 4 to 5 classes about this Āḷavaka Sutta. But from next Friday, we are going to start off a new Sutta. So I don't think it's going to be a big issue for all of you. And you will be able to catch up today. All right, let's go to the Sutta. Now, in the conversation the Buddha had with Āḷavaka, there comes a point that Buddha is very humble. He is very humble, and then he is telling Āḷavaka, you don't only need to ask me these questions, you need to ask the same questions from other people. You can see here, maybe we can ask from someone to read this Pali stanza. All right, this is the stanza. Who would like to read this stanza? Someone who dares to read. You could show your virtual hand, then I will see. Okay, Kim, yes. Kim is always very brave and dare to read. Doesn't matter what sense is coming up. Yes.
Okay. Inga anapi pucasu putu samana brahmane yadi sacha dhamma chaga kanya biyoda vichati.
Okay, but there were slight things, but I appreciate your willingness to come up, you know. Inga anyepi pucasu putu samana brahmane yadi sacha
Dhamma
dhamma chaga kantya yoda vichati. I think there is a small textual error over here. This should be dhamma. Yeah, should be dhamma. Dhamma means you can see the same. If you go back, you can see over here. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, it's the same idea. So Satchang Dhammo Titi Cha, same idea. Yeah, it's good. Inga anyepi puchasu putu samana brahmane yati sacha dhamma chaga kantya biyoda vichati. So first we're going to be starting to learn what is the Pali term. Inga. Inga means, what does Inga mean? Inga. Any idea? Huh? Do we use an English word called look? Look.
Yeah.
This is what's we have. Look. Look. Inga
Look,
means
yeah.
look.
Look.
Inga means look. L-O-O-K. And then Inga Anyepi Samana Brahmane Puttasu. Okay. Anyepi now look Āḷavaka. Anyepi Samana Brahmane Puttasu. You should go and ask from other samanas and brahmanas. These are two types of people. Samana means ascetics, and brahmane means Brahmins. Yeah. So, what does the Buddha ask here? Now, the main idea that you need to know is that Buddha is so humble. He didn't say, I am the Buddha, you should understand everything the way how I taught you. He was, now we do that in our probably when you approach a true expert on the subject, the expert might say, this is how I look at it, but you should check with other people too. But answer is already perfect. But still the expert is very humble enough to share with us that you can go and check with others too, right? Buddha is saying that. So how much humble are we supposed to be? The Buddha is telling like that. This is the bigger idea here. So he's asking Āḷavaka to go check. Inga look, Anyepi Samana Brahmane Puttasu. You go and ask from other monks or ascetics and Brahmin. Puttasu means ask. Ask. What are you supposed to ask? Yadi Satcha, Dhamma Chaga, Kantyabhyo. These are some qualities. Satcha means truthfulness. So you can see here. Then here Dhamma means, we could say Dhamma also, self-control. Chaga means generosity. And then Kantya means patience. So truthfulness, self-control or self-management. Chaga means generosity, Kantya means patience. So what the Buddha is asking is that, see whether anything better is found than, see, yadi biyodha vichati. If there are any other higher qualities, I mean, what you call better than what I said over here, truthfulness, self-management, generosity, patience, that can exist in teachings that which I don't know. You go and ask from those teachers, ascetics and Brahmins. Do we see this kind of a thing from our modern Dhamma speakers? That's an interesting remark. So when you are a Dhamma speaker, you should be available to give that meaning. The problem is now there's an issue with Dhamma and Adhamma. You know, sometimes we see Adhamma, not the true Dhamma, not understanding where to learn the Buddhist teachings. So Buddha is humbly asking him to go check whether there is a better teaching than what I said over here. What was the Buddha's teaching? Truthfulness, self-management, self-restraint of your senses, generosity, and patience. So these are the most important qualities, virtues of anybody's life. And then, now Āḷavaka is saying to the Buddha, maybe we can ask someone else to read this part. Who would like to read this part? Anyone?
Bhante, I try.
Yes. Nayan Chen, we will give you the next stanza for you. Is that okay? Okay. Yes, Melinda, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Katam no dani pucheyam putu samana brahmane yoham aja vajanami yo ato samparaiko.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Kathang nudani pucheyam putu samanat brahmani yohang ajja pajanami yo attu samparai. see the translation. But here, Katang, why? Why should I approach other ascetics and Brahmins? Why should I ask this same thing from other people? Because yo aham ajja means today. Ajja means today. Today I know from you, which is atto samparayiko. Samparayiko means translation. Samparayika normally means the next life. You can see why now would I question the many ascetics and Brahmin? Today I understand what is good for the next life. Ajja pajanami you atto samparayiko. So aham, I ajja today pajanami no yo atto what is beneficial for my samparayiko, next life. So what is good for the next life? Truthfulness, self-management of our senses, generosity, patience. Right? Why don't you see mindfulness over here? Tell me. Why? Meditation. Why don't you see that part here? Any guess about it? Now the Buddha says these four are the ones that are beneficial for our next life. Why is it? When someone is practicing meditation, finally, what is going to improve is a great amount of khanti, great amount of patience, isn't it? If you are a good meditator, what is ultimately improving in your states of mind? Patience. You can stay on to something. Without patience, you can't do any dana. You will do physically, but mental purification might not be happening. So we need true meditation. What is happening is that we develop great amount of patience. That patience is very important. Patience is the root kusala. Root kusala. All the other kusalas are starting from patience as well. Can you think about any other good activity, good karma you are doing? You are going to chant a sutta every day, every morning, evening. Then what do you need initially to chant? You need some patience to chant, right? You need to set aside some time for that. How do you set aside some time? Because I want to do it. I have to tolerate my time, tolerate my other things. And then when you are chanting, would you like to chant a long sutta or short sutta? It depends. Right? You're thinking about what sutta am I going to chant today? Maybe today I'm going to chant Ratana Sutta. Most stanzas. Metta Sutta is little shorter. Why? How can I chant this long sutta? I need some patience. I need some patience to do it. Sit down, focus on that, so that patience, khanti, is the root kusala. Root means the starting point. Without khanti, you cannot do dana, you cannot do meditation, you cannot do anything else. It is the most important, right? All right, so that's what we understand over here. And then we are going to the last stanza. We'll be asking from, there are two more stanzas. Interesting. We'll be asking from 9 Ching to read this part. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Āḷavaka me Buddho Vasaya la Vimagama Sohang Ajja Pajanami Yatha Dinang Mahapalang.
Great. So this stanza has some long combination. So how to decombine in, decombination? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 words they together. Why is it? Why they are together? It is for the easy pronunciation, because monks did not have books. They didn't have books to write these things. They came down to the oral tradition. That's why they wanted to put many words into one particular pronunciation. So when we are reading this kind of a stanza, Atthaya vata me buddho vasa yala vima gama. Okay. Sohang ajja pajanami yatta dinna maha palang. Oh, it's very easy to read. Atthaya vata me buddho vasa yalavi. It has to be like this. Vasa yalavi magama. Force has to come to V. Vasa yalavi magama. Sohang ajja pajanami yatta dinna maha palang.
Malam.
Maha palang. All right, now let's see what the Yakka is saying. Yakka is going to complement the Buddha. Furthermore, he says, Attaya vatame buddho vasayala magama. It is because of my, attaya means my own benefit. For my own benefit, the Buddha, agama, came. Buddha came to stay, vasa, alavi. So the Buddha came to stay in my place, truly for my own benefit. I, ajja means today, pajanami, understand. Yatta dinnam mahabbalam. Yatta dinnam means given. How to make a certain dana fruitful. Where to give my dana in order to make that dana to be fruitful. Today I understand where a gift is very fruitful. Yatta means where. Dinna mahabbalam. That means now this Āḷavaka Yakka is considering dana, generosity. So he is self-proclaiming that today only I knew that where to give my dana so that my dana is going to be fruitful, beneficial. Attaya means for my own benefits. Buddha means the Buddha. Agama means came. Āḷavi means the city of the Āḷavaka Yakka space. Vasa means to stay. So that me today, ajja means today, pajana means understand. No? Yatta dinnam mahapalam. Where am I supposed to give dana so that my dana is going to be fruitful? So these are compliments in terms of the Buddha's arrival to see him. All right, last stanza. Anybody else? This is what is going to happen to Āḷavaka Yakka at the end. Who would like to read this part?
I try, Bhante.
Yes.
So ahang vicharisami gama gamang pura purang. Namasamano sambudang damasa cha sudah matang ti.
Dhammasacha
Damasa
Sudhamma
cha sudah matang ti.
Sudhammatana. All right. Now Yakka is telling something to the Buddha. What is he saying? Bhante, now I am going to travel. Let's see, Vicharisami. Charisami means to travel. Vicharisami. I'm going to travel in particular to where? Gama, Pura, Puran. From town to town, from village to, from village to village. Pura means town. Gama means village. And Pura means town. So now, Yakka is going to travel from village to village and city to city. That means Yakkas are not, cities are not free from Yakkas, isn't it? Right? These Yakkas are always everywhere. They are traveling from village to village and city to city. Normally, what normal humans do is they come from village to town. Isn't it? They come from village to town and then become familiar with the town policies. See, it's not that you say we become civilized after coming to a city, but rather we say that travel from village to the town. But the Yakka is always traveling from town to town, village to village, town to town. Okay. And then why now? What is the urge of this Yakka to travel from village to village, town to town? What makes him to travel like that? He wants to do something. Namasamano Sambuddha. He wants to respect the Buddha. Namasamana, as you can see here, paying homage to the Buddha. And Dhammasacha Sudhammatanti. Sudhammatanti means the excellence, I would say, the highness of the Dhamma. Respecting the highness or excellence of the Dhamma and paying homage to the Buddha, Yakka say, I am going to travel from village to village, from city to city. Pura means city. Pura means city. Gama means village. All right, so that's the end of the sutta. If you go back, that's everything. So now at this point, what are we understanding about the sutta? Tell me what really happened at the end. You don't see that. You don't know what happened to the Āḷavaka after that. Where did he travel to? Did he travel to Savatthi, or did he travel to Rajagaha? Did he travel to Benares? Where did he travel after this? He traveled to certain cities and villages, and it is said he became a Sotama. Yakka became a Sotama. Right? And also it is said when the Yakka became a Sotapanna, the Yakka's vicious, I would say those terrible, rude nature got different. He became a good Yakka. So now you might be wondering, there is a good Yakka. What are you talking about? Good Yakka, bad Yakka. There are good Yakkas and bad Yakkas. Yakka is Yakka a ghost or a Deva? What do we know from the text? The Pali word Yakka. A Yakka is a Deva. Deva. That means there are good Deva and bad Deva. Okay? So Yakka, we have another term for the female version of Yakka. What is that word?
Yakini.
Yakini.
Yakini. Okay, there are male Yakkas and female Yakkas. Right? That's why in Buddhism we don't believe the God is, we don't say God is unisex. Right? God has the male version and female. Here we understand that these devas, they have males and females. Right? So now when you look at certain other suttas, such as Āṭa-Nāṭiya Sutta, you will see that there are good Yakkas and bad Yakkas. Isn't it? How many of you have read the Āṭa-Nāṭiya Sutta? Āṭa-Nāṭiya Sutta. Have you ever participated in an overnight chanting in any vihara? How many of you?
Yes. Yes.
How many of you? 1, 2, 3. I think others have heard that there will be a chant. Okay, 4. So now in this all night chanting ceremonies, the last sutta that the monks are going to chant is going to be Āṭa-Nāṭiya Sutta. What is Āṭa-Nāṭiya? Āṭa-Nāṭa, what does Āṭa-Nāṭa mean? Āṭa-Nāṭa means, let me write it for you. Āṭa-Nāṭa. 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 All Āṭa-Nāṭiya. Āṭa-Nāṭa means, what does Āṭa-Nāṭa mean? What is it?
Bhante,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken, they drive away all the yakkas at the last of the chanting. Is it something like that?
They what?
They drive them away.
The monks?
Yeah, the chanting is to.
So the monks are chasing the yakkas away.
Or something like that. Something like that. That's what I understand. Because
you think that monks can do that? You think so? They can chase the yakkas away? You think
Because
so?
from
That's
what I
what they say.
heard, at the last moment, do not sleep because they will drive the yakas and all that out. I'm not so sure, lah, but that's what I understand. Lah.
That's why you're not so sure. That's a good point to start the conversation. You're not so sure about it. All right.
Bhante, is it
So
to avoid getting attacked by the yaka? Is it the sutta is trying to avoid being attacked by the yaka?
something similar, actually. Yeah, something similar. Actually, there is a misunderstanding about this sutta as to how they, I mean, I'm not going to actually name anybody, how this sutta is being presented. There are people, even some so-called people, they are saying that by chanting the Āṭānātiya Sutta, monks are going to chase the yakas away. Even the Buddha could not do that. How come the monks are going to do it? Actually, what is happening in the Āṭānātiya Sutta? The king of the yaka, what was his name? What is his name? Now, this is about the history of Buddhism. What is the name of the king of the yaka, head of the yaka? Yakas and yakinis.
Saka. Is it Saka?
Ti-Ratana, Gandavas.
We should not put Saka into the yaka group, you know. He's a good one. So, what is the name of the head of the yaka?
Ti-Ratana.
Okay, let me tell you. There's a name called Vessavana. His name is Vessavana. Vessavana. Oh, another name is Kovera. I'm going to write it. Head yaka. All right. I think you got it on the chat. Vessavana or Kovera. So one day, this Vessavana Raja, the king of the yaka, came to the Buddha and told the Buddha, Bhante, I know your monks and nuns, they go to the forest for meditation. When they go to the forest, they will go through problems, attacks from the yakas and yakinis. So I asked very humbly from the Buddha, can you teach Āṭānātiya formula to your monks and nuns before they go to the forest? So when they practice, when they think about, when they chant this Āṭānātiya formula, which will become a sutta at the end, yakas and yakins cannot come and attack them. Now, who said that the monks are going to chase them away? This is a misunderstanding.
No, okay. What I understand, when we go on the overnight chanting, they tell us not to sleep, especially at the last moment, because all the yakas or whatever it is will be leaving. Then they might step on you because you're sleeping. That's what they say. I don't know. That's what I get the information.
Yeah. Now, it's not your problem. It's what you heard. Yes. So if you look at what happened at the Āṭānātiya Sutta's, the event, it was that the Vessavana Raja approached the Buddha, asked the Buddha to teach Āṭānātiya, so that monks and nuns know Āṭānātiya before they go to the forest and empty places. So when they chant the Āṭānātiya, they can avoid certain attacks that can come from the yakas. Not that monks and nuns are going to send them away. They can't do that. They are more powerful. Yakas are more powerful. So see, I mean, culturally, we know something really different from what we know in the sutta. So that's why when this is being chanted by some, they are trying to say some of the words of this chanting a little in a high voice. Yaka. There's nothing as such. This is a sutta which the Buddha asked monks to memorize and then chant for their own protection. Because these yakas are, many yakas are not Buddhist yakas. Let me tell you. In the first part of the Āṭānātiya, we see yakas are telling the Buddha, Bhante, we don't like your teaching. We further continue to kill people. We want to kill, we want to steal other people's stuff. We want to sexually misbehave. We have no particular integrity among our sexuality, and we want to lie. We want to mess up with our drinking habits, eating habits. We don't want to follow you. The Buddha could not convince them. And then the second part, some yakas, especially the main yaka, Vissavana, and some of his followers, they were really respecting the Buddha. You know, there is something interesting in this sutta. They said, Duratova Namasanti. These, some of the yakas, including the head yaka, when they are coming to see the Buddha, they bow down to the Buddha kilometers away. They're such respectful to the Buddha. Duratova Namasanti. Right? So they are very devotional and respectful, but not many other yakas. So now Āḷavaka is that kind of a bad yaka. Until he heard this story, until he asked questions from the Buddha. Finally, he understood that the Buddha is the one who solved his own problems, especially the questions that he wanted to ask. So the Buddha solved them. Then finally it is said that he became a Sotapanna, and then he became a good yaka. That's what happened. From being a bad yaka, he turned into a good yaka. That means good yakas can still make up their minds, and then even can become a Sotapanna. Because yakas are under the Chatu Maharajika's territory. Chatu Maharajika means the first heaven.
Bhante, the yaka, some book the English translated as demons.
No, I think we cannot depend on these English translations. Demon is a different person in English Christian mythological
But
teaching.
in Buddhism, are there demons? No.
I would take it as a yaka. When we cannot translate, we will use the same Pali word. Now, can you translate what you call Bodhi, B-O-D-H-I? You can say enlightenment. But does enlightenment mean the Buddha's, what he achieved? Maybe a violinist can come here now, a pianist, or she might say, at the end of this performance, I'm going to enlighten you guys. Enlightenment. So, I mean, how do we know which enlightenment is this? It's kind of a philosophical word. So, if we don't know how to translate, we will use the same Pali word.
So the word demon basically is on English concept lah. It's an English word.
That's what they say in English. Demon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And some use what ogress or something like that.
Yeah, it's another type of
but all these are called yakas in Buddhism lah.
No, we could still use demon when we want to tell somebody who is coming from an English background, because then the person from that Christian background understand yaka is somewhat like a demon. Right? That person is thinking that way. But when we want to know the true meaning of this particular Pali word, then we understand. We cannot translate. Rather, we understand the manifestations and attributes of a yaka through the sources. Then we know, this is not a demon in English. This is somebody else. Because I say, there are good yaka. So, are you going to call a good yaka as a demon? Tell me. How are we going to call a good yaka? Demon is a bad guy. They are demonizing,
So, Bhante, can we say they are lower devas?
Yeah, they are
lower level devas.
Yeah, they are. If you look at the 6 heavens, they are the first level of devas.
So
and there are other lower devas too. Rukka deva, tree spirits.
Okay.
Devas who are living in the trees. Devas who are living in your house doors.
So the tree spirits not considered yakas, right, Bhante?
Again, we go back to the English terminology. So it's very difficult to understand with English wordings. That's why I'm trying to say, let's understand from a little bit of Pali. That would be nicer. Like There are many other words such as kamma. Can we translate kamma? Is it action? Kamma is not action,
Yeah.
right? It is the volitional action.
All right.
So then if we cannot translate, let's keep the original parliament. That is better. Then we understand it from further other sources.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Āḷavaka Yakka became a Sotapanna. And let's go back to the Sutta again. I mean, because we are going to review today the Sutta. What happened at the beginning? At the beginning, there are newcomers too. The Buddha went to Āḷavaka Yakka's palace. At that time, Āḷavaka Yakka was out of his palace because he was in a meeting. He was in a meeting somewhere. Normally, Yakkas are taking their meetings in a certain place. They are taking the meeting under the Vessavana, Kuvera. We know the place is called Ālakamanda. Ālakamanda is the place where Yakkas are taking their gatherings, annual gatherings, called fellowships. Yakkas fellowship is called Ālakamanda. And some people in Sri Lanka say the Sigiriya could be one of these places, but we don't know this from the text, right? I think this Kelvin went to Sigiriya lately, isn't it? Yes, Kelvin went. But anyways, the idea here is that we don't know much information about exact places, but Ālakamanda is the place where Yakkas are having their meetings. On that day, Āḷavaka was out of the palace, who was in the Ālakamanda. Then there were two other Yakkas, Satagira Hemavata, who were flying over this Āļavaka's palace. They could not fly because of the power of the Buddha. So they saw what's going on. They saw the Buddha inside, then they went and respected the Buddha and it started back. And when they went to the Ālakamanda, both Satagira and Hemavata told Āļavaka, it is a blessing that you have the Buddha in your palace. So he was very mad about how come he went to my palace without my permission. He trespassed. So he immediately went back to the palace. When he was coming, he saw that the Buddha was teaching Dhamma to his wives, and then he asked, "You have to go out, and then you have to come back. Go out, come back, you have to go out, come back." But after that, the Buddha said, "I'm not going to go out. You can do whatever you want." Then Āļavaka Yakka said, "Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions." You can see, Puchisami, Sache Mena Byang. If you cannot answer my questions, I'm going to drive you insane, or Hadayanwa Palisami, explode your heart. If not, I'm going to take you by your feet and throw you to the other shore of the Ganges. Actually, this is very interesting. This is a formal threatening that was given by a Yakka. Do people in modern day also threaten this way? Do they tell you that Chittangwe Kipisami, I'm going to make you crazy, make you mad? Have you ever got this threat from anybody? Who can do this to us? Who can make us mad? Who can make us mad easily, or make us, insane easily? Those people who are very close to us, loved ones. Right?
Yeah.
They can make you mad, not the other people who are on the street. Right? So I think it is a threat from a Yakka's point. When the Yakka says, "I'm going to make you mad, make you insane, or I'm going to cleave your heart." This is also interesting. Do normal people do this? Are they making other people heartbroken? Do normal people make other people heartbroken? They do. How do they do? they are going to break the trust. Thereby, people are heartbroken. Cheating is one thing, and then not following the thing, doing other things what they are not supposed to do. So the other person is heartbroken, right? So that means yakka's what you call intimidations to the Buddha are happening even from the normal human side in different ways, right? In terms of the mind, in terms of the heart. And the third one is a physical threat. Yakka is saying, I'm going to grab you by your feet. Throw. All right. And then the Buddha said, you can't do those things. But if nobody can do that to me. No Mara, no Brahma, no Brahmin. But if you have a question, I'd be happy to answer your questions. And then the Yakka was asking very interesting questions, one by one. I think we don't have to go one by one today. Maybe we can have a discussion about them. And then finally, the Buddha is humble to ask from the Yakka. You should even ask, maybe you should question the same thing from other Brahmins or someone ascetics too, just to make sure. He said, I don't need to. I understood. All right. Any questions about Āḷavaka Sutta in particular at this point? If not, we go back to the text a little bit.
Just
Yes.
1 minute. I just want to know the sutta that you were talking about just now. The last part where the overnight chanting, then the last sutta.
Ātānata.
How do you spell it? Akanata.
Ātānata. Okay, I think I could not explain to you what does Ātānata mean. Ātānata is a city in the Yakka's kingdom. So normally Yakkas are said to live in a kingdom. We call that kingdom. It's kind of a continent in the Buddhist topography. We call it Uttara Kuru. Let me write that for you. I hope you are not going there anytime. Uttara Kuru, Yakka's kingdom. Yakka's kingdom or continent. Now, in this kingdom, there are cities, like normal cities. One city is Ātānata. Another one is Ātānata. Kusinata is another one. I'm going to type one. Other city is Parakusitanata. These are cities in there. So the sutta's name, Ātānatiya, took from a name of one of the cities in that kingdom, Ātānata. Next time, if somebody is telling that we are chanting to chase away the yakkas, you can say it is better to protect from the yakkas, not to send them away.
No, maybe I said it in a way. From what I attend a few of the overnight chanting, they remind everybody who is sleeping, wake up, because they are these devas or whatever this is living. They might step on you and all that kind of thing. That's what I heard now, but it could be different on different people will say it differently.
No, if you look at the story of Ātānatiya, if you go to that Digha Nikaya's Ātānatiya Sutta and also the commentary, you will see that the idea of Ātānatiya Sutta is not that particular kind of yakkas are coming. When you chant, definitely devas are there anytime. That's why at the beginning of any chanting, even a Dhamma talk in Sri Lankan tradition, monks are going to chant a certain stanza, which we don't find in the text. They say, Samanta Chakkavalesu Atra Gacchantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajas Sunantu Sankamokkada. May all the Deva, Naga, and all these Mahitikas come to this place to listen to Dhamma. So that means even before starting any chanting, those chanters, monks, whoever, they are asking devas to come. So no different devas are coming at the level of Ātānatiya Sutta. Devas are all the time there.
Bhante, just
Yes.
now the chant, can lay people chant this or only monks can chant?
No, lay people are not going to the forest.
Okay.
So the king of the Yakas came to the Buddha, told the Buddha, because your monks are going to the forest for meditation, then they should learn it. So Yakas are not coming to your houses.
No, I mean just now you say before the Dhamma talk, you want to invite the Devas or to come down. And
It is not very necessary. Buddha never done it. It is a tradition in Sri Lanka. When a monk is going to a house, when a monk is going at talk in a temple, they normally do it as a ceremonial, customary way.
So
But
only monks do it. Lay people don't do it. Or
lay people don't give Dhamma talks in Sri Lanka.
Oh.
They don't give Dhamma talks. Only monks are doing that. So that's why they have to do it.
I see. But in Malaysia, Singapore, a lot of lay people give Dhamma talks one day.
No, in Malaysian context, even in the Western context, even the Sri Lankan monks don't do it. There is no such tradition. Because what I understand is that it is implied when you give a Dhamma talk, Devas are coming. You don't have to invite them separately.
Then got to invite them to leave or not, Bhante, or they leave by themselves.
No, I mean the happy Deva, the good Devas are coming to you, coming to us. We don't have to invite them. Right?
Bhante,
yes.
Bhante, I heard the Āḷavaka Sutta, sometimes when people get possessed by spirits, then the monk says should chant this, then to chase away the spirits. Is that another wrong belief?
I cannot say it is a wrong belief, but it's not experimentally proved. You know, you can say Āṭanāti is related to Yakas, but we cannot exactly say by chanting the Āṭanāti, all the Yakas will go away. Normally, it is said that before the expected journey to the forest, monks have to learn it and chant it, get the protection, and then go there.
The protection is from the Yakas or from the triple gem?
Yakas. I mean, when a monk is chanting Āṭanāti Sutta and understand what is inside the Āṭanāti, actually Āṭanāti Sutta says, who are Yakas? What are they doing? How bad are they? So, what some good Yakas are doing. So, when monks understanding their story, their history, their background, so then Yakas feel happy. Actually, it is good. Even you get to meet a bad guy. If you know the bad guy well, the bad guy understand that you know him or her well. Then that bad guy, the threat from the bad guy is not going to affect that much because you know that person. Right? But if you don't know the bad person, you're going to start a normal friendship with the bad person. You never know where you're going to end up. Right?
Bhante, you were saying that to know what actually a Yaka is to know the characteristic of the Yakas, right? So
characteristic, how some Yakas function, how to find out good Yaka, how they operate, where they are living, their behavior. So this is important.
Bhante, can you share some of the characteristic of a Yaka? It gets angry easily or what?
Pardon me?
Gets angry easily, a lot of anger.
Definitely, Yakas can go mad very fast. And then there are good Yakas. Actually, if you Āṭanāti Sutta is not our discussion today, but what I can say is that let's talk about the good side of the Yakas. Now, in Āṭanāti Sutta, Buddha says the head Yaka and some other Yaka, they are very respectful. They are more respectful than a human. They are more respect. They dura tova namasanti. They respect us from afar. Like humans only come to the neighborhood of somebody and respect, but they are doing it from afar. So, and there are some Yakas who are great thieves, worse thieves. They are stealing. They are stealing other people's stuff, right? Mahachora. There are many information. I mean, because we are not supposed to talk about Yaka in particular with the Āṭanāti today. That's why I'm not going to disclose many things. But what we need to understand is there are good Yakas and bad Yakas. Yakas are devas. So we need to understand them in the proper way. Yeah, Āṭavaka Sutta has the four. Yes, there are 4 types of devas who are living in the first heaven, Chatu Maharajika. Dataratta, Viruda, Virupaka, Vessavana. But 3 of them, Viruda, Virupaka, and Dataratta, they are not belong to the Vessavana's kingdom. They are living in other places of the Chatu Maharaj. So they are out of our discussion. Only the Vessavana or Kuvera is our matter of discussion. So then that's what we understand. All right, that is one question. Any other questions about Āḷavaka Sutta and then Āḷavaka Yakka, especially the Dhamma context, Dhamma contents which we studied throughout the Āḷavaka Sutta. We studied from the superlative context, very superlative questions. What is the best wealth? How to make friends? I think they are very interesting. We don't hear from many other suttas. Yes, Barbara?
Bhante, just now you were talking about the Loka Deva, which is the 3 devas. What about the house? You were mentioning about house Deva. What is the name for it?
We call them Bummatta. Yani the Bhutani Samagata.
How do
Bummani.
you spell?
Bummatta.
How do you spell the word, Bhante?
Yeah, I'm going to type it in here. Bummatta.
Okay.
Or we call them Bummadi.
Akasakta, Chubumata.
Bummatta or
Bhante.
Bummadi. So they are, they are the very, what you call, minimal type of Deva. Bummadeva. Yakas are more powerful devas, actually. They are not just Bummadeva.
But from what I heard, when they're angry with somebody in Sinhalese, most of them, the first thing they will say, this fellow is a yakka. Yeah, in temple and all that, when they are angry with each other, these things comes out. Huh?
Yeah, because there are a lot of stories behind yakkas, because people don't know exactly who yakka is. So what they do is, even in Sri Lanka, in Indian history, long time ago, when someone had a heart attack, they didn't have this, what you call bypass surgery, this modern type of surgery. They say one yakka came and attacked the person, that's why he died. Because they put everything into the account of the yakkas. When you don't know the certain things, they left everything for the yakkas. If you see Vedic text, old text, if you ask from a person, probably, I think, if you look at these heart surgeries, even before that time, when you ask from those people, they are not available anymore, no longer with us, they say, a spiritual attack came, to the person, he died, she died. Yakka attack, right? Even someone got fever, they say this fever is not a metabolic thing. It is a yakka. Fever yakka came and then attacked the person. Indian Atharva Veda, right? So because of not understanding yakkas in a proper way through the text, people demonize everything. That's the proper way. People demonize everything that they cannot perceive, right? So that kind of demonization is not what we understand by yakka. There are good yakkas as well. All right, let me ask you about, Āḷavaka Sutta. Do you have any questions about the Dhamma concepts that you see in the Āḷavaka Sutta? Especially this Āḷavaka Sutta talks about the highest, best kind of teachings. Say, for instance, we go to Āḷavaka Sutta. You can see here the first question which the Āḷavaka poses. King so the Vittang. Bhante, what is the greatest or the best wealth anybody can have in his or her life? The Buddha said, trust. Very interesting. Such an interesting thing. Now, if we don't have trust about our family, if we don't have trust about us, what other wealth is going to work for us? We may have money, we may have a lot of things, but if you lose the trust, I think there is no particular other good type of wealth that we own. And you will see this with the people who are always suspecting others, who are going through lots of insecurities. Right? There are many people who are going through insecurities day and night. They cannot sleep. They don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they suspect the loved ones. What is she doing? What is he doing? What are my children doing? What are my workers doing? They are full of insecurity. So they don't have the trust. That's why the Buddha said, trust. When you have proper trust in someone, that is the best wealth. I think that's very important. That is very important. Have you ever thought that way? That trust is very important to our connections, with the loved ones, with the people who we are working. If you work in somewhere, if you don't have trust about your co-workers, your boss, other people, even when you are driving, let's say you are driving well, but you trust the other drivers, right? If you don't trust the other drivers, they can go haywire here, right? I think trust is what we create, we bring to the front, so we are happy. So Yakka's question to be asking that, Bhante, what is the greatest wealth, best wealth we can have in our life? The Buddha said, trust. Yakka is very happy. See? So you have any questions as such in the sutta? As you can see, the next question, as we see, until you come out with a question, Yakka is asking, Bhante, King Su Suchinnang, what brings happiness when practiced well? We all would like to be happy all the time. The Buddha said, the teaching brings happiness when practiced in the proper way. That means Dhamma has to be practiced in the proper way, not in the wrong. Okay? Sometimes there are people who practice Dhamma in their own way, then they complain, they are whining. I've been chanting every day to the Buddha, but my life has been still very tough. Why is it? This is a question that some people are making. I got this question many places. Maybe you are not chanting in the proper way. You don't know what you are chanting. Maybe you chant, but your character is not a good character. You have to practice some sila, some other stuff. Right? So Dhamma has to be practiced in the proper way. All right, I think we don't have time to go one by one. I would like to ask, hear your questions. Just go through the text if you have a paper, and then ask anything from the sutta.
Bhante, in
Yes.
the Dhammapada verse, they say contentment is the greatest wealth. Okay? And here he's saying trust is the greatest wealth.
In the Dhammapada stanza, we say Arogya Paramalabha Santutti Paramandana. Parama means the greatest, Dhanam means wealth. Now let's go back here, see how it is written. Vittam Purisas Settam. With and Dana, this could be two things.
Okay.
Now, actually, when you have the trust, that will take you to the joy, santutti, right? So I think there is no conflict with those two, because only when you have trust you can be happy. So the happiness is the immediate mental state when we are trusting. Someone is asking, what is the meaning of kinsu how? Kinsu means how. That stanza is also very interesting. Dhammapada stanza. Arogya Paramalabha, Santutti Paramandana, Vissasa Paramanyati, Nibbanam Paramansula. Arogya Paramalabha means the greatest gain that we can gain is health.
Health.
What health is that? Physical health? Both physical and mental health. Right? Both physical and mental health. Sometimes we are physically okay, we don't have any problem with regard to our body, but we might be having issues, anger, jealousy, annoyances, indignation, what else? A lot of issues. Okay? We are not mentally healthy.
In the Dhammapada, they say the trusted friend is the best relative.
Yeah, I'm going there now. In a moment of time. Second is Santutti Paramandana, the contentment. Contentment is the greatest wealth which will come after certain trust about us and other people around us. Third, Vissasa Paramanyati. Some people translate this way. Relatives are the best to trust. Right? They are best to be trusted. But in my own way, what I think is that, when you have someone whom you can trust in, that person is the best relative. Sometimes we have lots of relatives, many relatives, but we cannot trust them, They're always trying to consume us, drain us. So if there is somebody who you can trust in, that person is a relative. So if there's a relative who is as such, definitely, by definition, he or she is a relative. Otherwise, if we cannot trust anybody, that person cannot be a relative. Finally, Nibbana is the highest happiness. All right, any questions about the sutta?
Can I have much clarity on the diligence and energy, viriya and apamadena?
Okay. There are two things. Virya is energy.
Yeah.
Normally, our energy is not ethically neutral. We may come up with lots of energy to do the bad things, akusalas. That's why even on the full moon day, you are supposed to take some precepts, maybe to discipline yourself. I think on a new moon day, on a full moon day, that's why we are supposed to take precepts and then to spend that day. Because the underlying issue about the full moon day and new moon day is that when the new moon day dawns or full moon day dawns, because of the changes of the lunar changes, change of the moon, we are getting lots of energy. When people are getting lots of energy because of a lunar change, then that energy can be easily taken us to do akusala karmas. Now, when you have lots of energy, you might, we don't know what's going to happen. Even if you take a teenager, young person who might drink a Red Bull and getting lots of unnecessary energy, right? And that teenager cannot understand what's going to happen. So, virya is a ethically neutral word. So that's why the Buddha said, bring energy to do good activities, kusala karmas. That is virya. Energy can always go away, run out, so that we have to balance out good energy for the kusala activities. Appamada is something called delay, spiritual. I would say we are not spiritually delayed. That means we are always trying to focus on the spiritual path. The urge to practice spirituality is called appamada, always trying to be driven by appamada. So when you are driven by appamada, virya is automatically swelling out of, arising from that appamada for the good things. So I would say appamada is a framework. So we have to lay out the framework. We're going to lay out the frame. This is where I have to strive on. And when I lay out my spiritual path with Appamada, what is happening within the layout is that I have to bring good virya to practice the rest of the other kusala virtues. Then I am going to manage my virya, my energy. Appamada is ethically, it's always ethical, but virya is not always ethical. It can be good or bad.
And Bhante, why is the 7 factors of enlightenment, Viriya is inside and not Appamadena?
Virya is inside.
The seven factor of enlightenment, Bonjangka.
Bojjhangas. Okay.
And I think Viriya is inside. One of the
Yes.
7 factor.
Yes.
And why is it not diligence like Appamadena is more of a bigger?
Diligence doesn't need to be inside because all the Bojjhangas are working within the framework of the Appamada. They all are happening within the framework of Appamada. So that's why, let me tell you, there is one sutta in the Anguttara Nikaya. Buddha is giving us a simile to the monks. He is asking the monks, what do you think about the footprint of animals in the forest? And they said there are many footprints of many animals. Then what do you think about the elephant's footprint? They say they understand. And can all the footprints of other animals be fitted onto the elephant's footprint? Then the monks say yes, because the elephant footprint is the largest. In the same way, all the other, Dhamma qualities, Dana, Sila, Bhavana, Punya, Punyanamodana, Nekkamma, Virya, whatever XYZ you call them, all these good activities, good karmas, are happening within the Appamada. Elephant's footprint is called Appamada. Other animals, small footprint, birds, whoever other one's footprint, they are happening, they are fitted onto the elephant footprint. So Appamada is the framework. So you don't have to look at it as a part of the Bojjhangas. It is implied. You say, Four Noble Truths, 7 Bojjhangas, Appamada is the framework of all these activities. How they process is within the Appamada framework.
Okay, thank you, Bhante. It's in the bigger scope, bigger area.
Yes.
Covering, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
That's why Buddha's last words. What was the last word of the Buddha?
Strive.
Appamada sampadeta.
Vaya dhamma sankhara appamadena sampadena. Did he talk about virya? No. Because virya is implied within appamada.
Okay.
Vaya dhamma sankhara, that means all conditioned phenomena are subject to changes. Therefore, you have to strive on with diligence. Because if we don't have the, let's say, think about a big skyscraper. If the skyscraper doesn't have a good foundation, the skyscraper will fall apart at a certain point. So foundation of our spiritual path is Atma. That always tells us, hey, spiritual urge, you have to understand, do, always try to keep doing it, keep practicing. This urge is coming from Atma, diligence.
So Bhante, your spiritual urge is called samvega?
No, that is a Pali word that has been used by senior monks at a certain time. But I would call spiritual urge to be appamada. The nature of appamada is the spiritual urge. Then there are other Pali words you can call sangvega and all that. Actually, the Pali word sangvega has a different meaning. Let me tell you. When the Buddha proclaimed that he would pass away in 3 months, then all the unenlightened monks were grief-stricken. That means they were into grief. They were grieving. Arahants, all the Arahants, they were having Dhamma Sangvega. Let me type that for you. Then you will understand the proper meaning of Sangvega. Normal unenlightened monks, they had Soka. Soka means?
Grief.
But other enlightened ones, Arahants, what they had was Dhamma Sangvega. Dhamma Sangvega means, we have to define that a mental state about the let me put it this way, a mental state about the loss of a great personality. Arahants are not grieving about it, but Arahants feel this is a loss, irreparable loss. This is an irreparable, nobody can replace. So they understand that. But they are not grieving. So Sangvega is that kind of word. So you can't use it as spiritual urgency, which is coming from a later interpretation, probably from some of the senior monks. Originally, it was used to say Dhamma Sangvega. Now, let's say you might ask, what did the Arahants feel when the Buddha passed away? Tell me, what was their mental state? When the Buddha passed away, there were lots of Arahants, including Arahant Mahakashyapa. What was their mental state? Their mental state was Dhamma Sangvega. It's not spiritual urgency. It means that they were understanding what if the Buddha could spend another couple of years, he could have helped many other people attain Nibbana. They know the loss, this irreparable loss that nobody can meet it. Other questions about Āḷavaka Sutta? What did you learn from Āḷavaka Sutta in short? Even a bad yakka can be a good yakka, right?
Even a bad yakka can gain sotapanna.
Can gain sotapanna. So what about the humans? Humans have so much potentials, more than yakka, right?
Bhante, can I ask, can Nagas attain sotapanna also?
They should be able, because Naga is one kind of one of the disciples of one of the four world guardian Deva.
Then Bhante, when become a monk, they ask you whether you're human, and then if you are Naga, you cannot join the monk.
Yeah, there is a story for that. Yes. Why actually when a senior monk is going to ordain someone, especially for Upasampada, for Samaneras, novices, they can leave anytime. Especially when they going to become higher ordained monks, they must ask the novice whether you are a Naga. Why? There was a story at the Buddha's time. There was someone, I think I already shared with you, who was a Naga, but Nagas can always trans into the human form.
Yes.
So then one Naga turned into a human and then went to a monastery and then asked from the monks, I want to become a monk. So then they ordained him. So now the two monks are sharing the kuti. The kuti was shared by two monks. So one monk went out for something. The Naga monk, he was a human, he was sleeping. So when the monk, who is really a Naga, sleeping, then they automatically trans into a very big snake. So when the other monk is coming, so the whole room is a big Naga, very mammoth Naga, not like a normal cobra. He was very scared about it. What's going on? So he was then informing other monks, and then by that time, that particular monk heard. Then once he woke up, he again became a human. Then they understood the problem. And then it was informed to the Buddha. Buddha said, from today, you must make sure whether the what you call person you are going to ordain or high ordain is a Naga or not. Because the nice thing is that all these Deva, Naga, Yakka, they cannot lie like humans.
Okay.
Yes. When you ask them, are you Yakka? Even Yakka is showing a human form. They say, yes, I'm a Yakka. They cannot lie. Very interesting. So when the monk is going to ask the human who is a Naga, are you a Naga? Yes, I'm a Naga. so he's out. He's out from the list. Very interesting. So non-human beings never lie. So they like the people who are talking the truth. They may have bad characters, but yeah.
But if they are able to attain Sotapanna, that means they're able to gain sainthood. Why don't we allow them to join the Sangha?
So in order for someone to become a Sotapanna, you don't need to become a monk or a nun. Yeah. I think it's a misunderstanding. That's why I'm telling many people in many talks, if a lay person wants to become a Sotapanna, right, and then thinking that I need to become a monk or nun, that is a complete misunderstanding. You can become a Sotapanna being in the household. Then you might complain, no, I cannot do because with my people in the household. That is your problem. You have to know how to manage the household. Don't think that becoming a monk is running away from your household. You have to manage your lay life. There are many suttas where Buddha talks about how to manage your lay life. But you can become a Sota. But keep in mind, not all the yakkhas have that privilege to become a Sota. Only few. So that thing also needs to be understood. So it's not a very normal thing to many yakkhas.
So to become a monk is actually to strive to become an arahant.
Well, it's a choice. It's definitely a choice. Yes, definitely. When someone is going to become a monk, they say Sabba Dukkha Nissarana Nibbana Satchikaranantaya. I want to attain Nibbana. So that is the main thing. So but I think if you are looking at from a sansaric point, we cannot attain Nibbana in a moment of time. So we are doing some small projects. We practice dana, we practice sila, we practice nekkhamma. So one day we will be there.
Bhante, one question, can a lay person attain arahanthood?
Yes.
Or have to become a monk?
Can attain arahanthood, but then will pass away once became an arahant.
Within 7 days got to ordain.
Yeah.
No, pass away.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no problem. Yeah. All right. Other questions?
Yeah. Bhante, one last question. Can a peta be a good peta or a bad peta?
Can yakka?
No.
Peta.
P-E-T-A. Peta. P-E-T-A. Peta.
Peta.
Be a good and bad peta.
No, when someone passing away, we call that person who is passing away as a peta.
Yes.
We all will become petas at a certain point, but not for the person. The living people call that person as a peta. Not that he is becoming a peta, because that person is not living anymore. I think you are talking about a certain peta, kuppipasa, hungry ghost.
Yeah.
Hungry ghost is not, I don't think there are happy hungry ghosts. Hungry ghosts mean they are suffering a lot. Yeah, you can't say there is a
good one or bad one.
Kuppipasa definitely
cannot
mean,
say good peta.
no, there is a certain peta we call Vimana peta. Right for you? Vimana peta. Vimana peta. Vimana petas are a little bit better, but normally hungry ghost is not a happy state.
But can they be good and bad?
No, what they want is good karma. So we cannot distinguish good and bad thing among petas. So they are in dire need of good karma from the people who they know. All right, so we will take another maybe 2 questions and we'll transfer some merits. Āḷavaka Sutta. Till you come up with a question, I want to share with you the next sutta. We're going to be studying Dajjaka Sutta. It's going to be
a banner.
Set. Dajjaka Sutta. Yeah. Samyutta Nikaya is 11.3, which I will be sending as a document to Aliana later. So you will be studying Dajjaka Sutta. It's a very interesting sutta about chanting and then the blessings, triple gem. Yeah. All right. Any questions? There's a question from someone here. But a layperson attain arahanthood must renounce or else will die. Yeah, that's what we hear.
Is this stated in the suttas, Bhante?
Yeah, somewhere.
Somewhere.
Not just the suttas, with some people, how they attain Nibbana, how they pass away right away. So, yeah, looking at the stories.
Bhante, I heard from most of people, these devas and yakas and all that, they won't lie. But how about the bad one? Do they lie?
They don't lie.
No,
Yes.
they don't lie too. That's
They
why
don't
they
lie.
say we kill, we steal. Do you think humans they are accepting they kill, they steal, they sexually misbehave?
This
Humans
is
are
truthful also. What? Still is truthful, isn't it?
no, not many people who are accepting that they are doing bad things. They cover it. But even the bad yakas, that's what the Buddha said. The Vesavana Raja said about yakas. And then they also said to the Buddha, Bhante, we kill, we steal, we sexually misbehave. They accept, acknowledge.
Yeah, that means thanks.
Because yakas and devas don't have a mind to change their words. By default, they don't change their words, but the humans, right? Humans can change their mind anytime. Right? That works for the good side and the bad side. Yeah, we'll take one more question and move on to some. Yes, Hema. Yes.
I ask the devas, is it the naga is in the center, then is the yaka, is it? The secret of their level or what?
No,
Naga.
naga is a kind of deva.
So within
But when we transfer, share the good karmas, we normally distinguish them. Nagas.
Yes.
But we don't say deva yakka naga. We normally say deva as a common term, and then we also take naga separately.
That's right. But we've never mentioned about yaga because some are bad, some are good, right?
Nagas?
You mean nagas are always good, right? Because
no, we can't say so. There are different nagas. Now, especially in Buddhist texts, we understand nagas are living in the rivers, waterfalls. Some nagas would like people die in the water, waterfalls and rivers. They expect, yeah, ocean, yeah. So they are mainly with the aquatic sources. Mainly.
there are 4 different forms, right? They can come. Is it like the snake or the elephant? Is
Naga?
it?
No.
In
That is, you are talking about the physical naga, the snakes. This naga is not a snake.
Is in a
they are not reptiles.
form. Yeah.
Let me tell you, the Pali term naga has two aspects. One is a physical snake, whatever the snake that we understand. It is an animal. That naga is an animal. But this naga is a powerful non-human being. So they are non-human, powerful ones. So they are living in the aquatic sources. So they are protecting the ocean. They are protecting the waterfalls. They are protecting those watery places. Yeah, they are not physical nagas.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So they are
Naga
protecting.
considered under the deva. Is naga is a deva or
Deva.
Deva.
So Yakka, Deva, Gandhabba, there's another one. They all are living in the Chatur Maharajika heaven.
Okay. Gandhabba. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Gandhabba. Gandhabba, who are the Gandhabba? Musicians. These Gandhabba Deva, they are musicians. They like to hear musical stuff, performance. They can play very well. That means if you are a musician, you have a potential to be reborn in the Chatur Maharajika. Anyways, each of these are controlled by one of the, yes, true. Very true. All right, I think we have already come to the time. So what I can say today is that today is the last day of Āḷavaka Sutta. What we have been learning throughout the Āḷavaka Sutta is that yakas have super interesting, important questions to the Buddha. They are not even important questions to Buddha. They are important questions and answers to our life. So we can understand one by one. One thing in particular we learn throughout the Āḷavaka Sutta is, Yakka is asking a very interesting question. How to make friends? Which is a very timely question among the young people in today's world, even among the adults too, because many people have internet friends. But nowadays it's hard. It's difficult for many people to make physical friends. They don't meet each other. It's very difficult. The Buddha said the answer is Dadang Mittani Gantati. When you are generous, then you can make good friends. Right? We have to be generous. In today's world, everybody would like to get free treatments, free food, free things, but they are not giving, right? If you look at today's world, everybody would like to get free stuff. So if you want to become a good friend, if you want to make good friendship, you must be able to be generous. That generosity can vary from giving, even a good smile, even have a certain sacrifice. So Buddha said it is generosity that can make you a good friend to somebody. You can make good friends. So as such, there are a lot of good teachings. So please, if you are a newcomer, I would ask you to go to the text, read one by one slowly, and understand the sutta. It's pretty easy to understand with our text and translation. From next Friday, we are going to learn about the Dajjagga Sutta. Dajjagga Sutta is about an interesting event. I'll just tell you some of the heads up. This sutta is about Deva and Asura. There's a constant war between them, and then they approach the Buddha for some help. And how did the Buddha tell them how to protect from each other? So now we are going to transfer the good karmas. May all the good karmas we've been making throughout the Āḷavaka Sutta's discussion be transferred to all the departed ones who passed away in the name of all of us. May they be well and happy. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idammi ñātīnaṁ hūtu sukhitā huntu ñātayo. Idammi ñātīnaṁ hūtu sukhitā huntu ñātayo. Idammi ñātīnaṁ hūtu sukhitā huntu ñātayo. At the same time, we are going to share all the good karmas with all the non-human beings, including Devanaga and all the powerful other beings. May Devanaga Mahidika share all the good karmas. May they be well and happy. May they protect all of us for good health, quality of life, prosperity, and safety. In particular, may they bless our Dhamma journeys. Finally, may Devanaga Mahidika also attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu. Sadhu, sadhu. Ittavata ca amihi sambatan punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata ca amihi sambatan punya sampadam sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata ca amihi sambatan punya sampadam sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha ca Bhummattha Devanaga Mahindika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakkhantu Lokasasana. Akasattha ca Bhummattha Devanaga Mahindika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakkhantu Desanang. Akasattha ca Bhummattha Devanaga Mahindika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakkhantu Mang Paranti, Chirang Rakkhantu Mang Sadanti. At the same time, I'm going to make this as an opportunity to thank everybody. I think this is the first sutta discussion we are doing after our fellowship lunch, which we had on 17th. Because last weekend I was not able to conduct the discussion because of the retreat in Malacca. And so I want to thank everybody, Liana, Kim, everyone who joined, who organized. And then I know there are other people who could not join their in other places. So I hope that our fellowship was a great success to learn more Dhamma and then practice more Dhamma. And we are continuing our sutta discussions. So this comes down to understanding that how many Kalyana Mitras we are having. So we count on blessings about these Kalyana Mitra friendships. So the next thing is to think about, may we be able to be in the company of the same Kalyana Mitras till we attain Nibbana. Thinking thus, we're going to make a wish. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamu satan samagamu hotu yava nibbana patya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we be making throughout the Āḷavaka Sutta discussion be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silis nicham vadha pachaino chataru dhamma vadhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarugya sampatti sagga sampatti mi vache ato nibbana sampatti iminati saminchatu sadhu, sadhu. With that, I'd like to wish you a good night. We will see you next Friday at the same time. Thank you, everybody.
Good night,
Thank you,
Bhante.
Bhante. Thank you, Bhante. Good night, Bhante.
Sadhu, sadhu,
Thank you so
Kalyana
much.
Mitra.
Thank you, everyone.